All right, Mr. TALIAFERRO'S TV, how's everybody doing out there? Listen, this is nothing that I didn't expect. Anybody who understands the game of basketball to a degree understands, in my opinion, J.R. Smith has not been a good player for I'd say the last 2 or 3 years. I'd say maybe the last 3 years, J.R. Smith has not been a good player. I could make a case that even the year the Cavs got to the finals and won, coming back from 3-1 against the Golden State Warriors, J.R. Smith he was okay in the playoff run. That run was more about Kyrie and LeBron, and they went against that pretty much, there was a very favorable schedule for them in the Eastern Conference. I'm not going to even give J.R. Smith that much credit. His first season with LeBron, that 2015 season when he got traded over, was pretty spectacular. When him and Iman Shumpert got traded over, when they ended up losing to Golden State in the finals that year because Kevin Love got injured in the first round and Kyrie went down in the finals. That first year was pretty good with LeBron and JR. JR was playing some pretty good basketball. But other than that, I mean, honestly, he was never that guy that LeBron wanted, right? He had moments, he had games from here and there. But that first season when he got traded, that was around the trade deadline, if I'm not mistaken, him and Shump from the Knicks, he was phenomenal. I mean, knocking down shots. LeBron was taking some nights off. JR was going out and getting you 5 or 6 threes a game. The Cavs were blowing teams out. You know, they probably would have won a championship that year if they were healthy. If Kevin Love hadn't went down and Kyrie hadn't went down. But for the most part, JR has been pretty disappointing. Now, JR was a highly talented guy out of high school, high flyer, big-time dunker. Reformed his game with the Knicks when he left Denver and became a knockdown shooter. Was tied to Carmelo for a lot of his career. You know, won 6 Man of the Year award. And he became a really good defender when he joined with LeBron. He knew the expectation level was just going to go through the roof. This wasn't Carmelo anymore. This was Bron, baby. And he compete for rings, you know. And that was LeBron coming off of a finals loss to San Antonio when he even came to the Cleveland Cavaliers for his second run. But I'm going to be honest. In the biggest moments, J.R. Smith he never had it. He struggled in 4 straight NBA finals for the Cleveland Cavaliers. They played against Golden State. They win 7 games. They win 6 games. They win another 5, and then they win 4. So they played, I'd say, about 22 games in the last 4 years. 22, 23 games in the finals the last 4 years. I say JR maybe had 3 decent games to good games. I don't even want to talk about what J.R. Smith did in the finals of Game 1 this year. I mean, all he simply had to do was run the play. He tried to run the clock out after LeBron had put up 50 and carried the Cavs. I said all that to say, yeah, J.R. Smith was a shell of himself. It didn't take the Cavs much time at all to know we don't need this guy if LeBron's not going to be around. LeBron was making this guy look better than what he was. And even then, the last few years, it wasn't good. I knew we were going to see an exit here. The Cavs are in full rebuild mode. And J.R. Smith, though he wants to play, I thought J.R. Smith would be the guy whining and pounding on the bench and complaining because, I mean, this guy's competed for championships the last 4 years of his career. He's going to be in the worst team. Now, the Cavs are the worst team in the NBA again. Right? But this is more about the Cavs moving on from J.R. They're noticing that he's not good before that J.R.'s noticing that the Cavs are not good. They're like, nah, bruh. We don't want to play you. We'd rather give that time to Osman, who's going to play harder on both ends of the court. We're trying to grow some good habits. We're to give that time to Colin Sexton. So the Cavaliers have decided to not play J.R. Smith much. I think he's averaging around 22 minutes a game. Not been available a couple games. He's getting he's off that bench. He's not starting. He's making starters money. Here's the reality of the situation. I give LeBron a little bit of blame. And it's selfish, right? He got his guys paid. He got J.R. Smith and Tristan Thompson paid, which heightened the expectation on role players who are now getting paid starter money. But all that being said, I think J.R. Smith's career is probably over. There might be a team interested in his services after he somehow comes up with some. The Cavs want JR to buy out. They want to agree on a buyout. They don't want to pay this dude. They want him off their cap. They don't want him around the team. And J.R. Smith came flat-footed said they don't want me here. He gets it now. This is going bad. I find it hard to believe a team's going to want him. To me, he's, at this point, I hate to say this, he's washed goods. A lot of miles on that body. 4 straight finals. You know, and I hate to say it like this, he was a high flyer, you know, for the top end of his career. The first 5-7 years, he was a high flyer, one of the best in the NBA. And he was a 3-point shooter the latter part of his career. His best days are behind him, y'all. It's a good idea for both parties to move on. If the Cavs can make anything, a trade for J.R. Smith, get a 2nd-round pick, that'd be phenomenal. His market value is low. Somebody brought up to me, will LeBron and the Lakers be interested in J.R. Smith? No. Because even right now, Lance Stevenson is better than J.R. Smith. They're like the similar type players, and I'm not talking about their play style, but what they bring to a team. Even these guys are guys that can't get long-term deals anywhere. Teams like kind of rent them, you know, and kind of squeeze the limit out of them, you know. They'd rather have Lance. You know, the Lakers, they're dealing with their own issues. They got KCP, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Him and J.R. Smith are pretty much on the same level right now, you know. Like, the Lakers are not going to go sign a J.R. Smith unless LeBron pulls that trigger. And if LeBron does that, I don't think it'd be a good idea for the team. You know, I think LeBron was the last guy in J.R. Smith's corner. The Cavs were willing to keep J.R. Smith around as long as it made LeBron happy, which would then make that team better, which would make Dan Gilbert money, the owner of the Cavs. I watched LeBron James on that bench after Game 1 in the NBA Finals. And mind you, the Cavs had no business even being remotely competitive against the Golden State Warriors with 4 All-Stars in the NBA Finals, all healthy. You know, but somehow, some way, the Cavs found themselves up with a chance to win Game 1 against the Golden State Warriors in the finals. LeBron had given everything he had that game, 50. And I've remained consistent in my stance. There is one way to beat the Golden State Warriors. One way. Houston did it last year. They cracked that code until Chris Paul got injured. You have to make it to the 4th quarter against the Golden State Warriors. That's the formula. There is no other, like I could say, yo, you got to defend, if the Warriors are making shots, you pretty much don't have a chance. They have 3 all-time shooters. And DeMarcus Cousins will be on the team come January or February, right? It's going to get worse for the NBA. They're 6-1, 7-1 right now. They have the best record in the league right now. And Cousins is coming, right? So I'm just putting it out there in the atmosphere. There is one way to beat Golden State. You get them to the 4th quarter in a close game where you have them trailing. And at that point, Kevin Durant goes back to the Kevin Durant of old. And he starts taking ill-advised shots. He gets the jitters. Steph, he's still money, but you get him. Maybe you can make him take a bad shot. Clay can take some bad shots from time. You get them fumbling around the basketball, not knowing who should take the shot because all these guys are phenomenal scorers. Then Draymond wants to touch the rock and be the facilitator. And when Cousins come back, that's the way you beat him. The Cavs did that for Game 1 in the finals against that team. And if you beat the Warriors Game 1, they got to go out and win Game 2 in Golden State now. I don't believe the Cavs would have won that series, right? I don't believe that. But as a basketball fan, you got to only believe, like you got to only dream like what could have been if the Cavs pull off Game 1. You know, maybe they get 2 games in that series. I believe if they win Game 1, like they should have because they had that game wrapped up, it went to overtime and they lost. I believe they probably win Game 3 or 4 in Cleveland. I believe they at least win 2 games if they get Game 1. And that's pretty impressive because it was LeBron and everything else versus a all-time team. That's pretty impressive if you get 2 games. So in my mind, I seen LeBron James on that bench check out on J.R. Smith. I watched him check out on J.R. The look LeBron had on his face on that bench, he didn't even say anything to the team. Now, I would have rather Jordan or Kobe air that team out for that BS because I think the mentality would have been better in overtime. They didn't have anything in overtime, right? And LeBron was gassed. That's why they lost so bad in OT. Right? But I looked at LeBron's face. If you go look at the footage, you'll see it. he checked out on J.R. Smith. And when he checked out on J.R., the guy that got J.R. paid, that believed in J.R., that probably over-believed in J.R., J.R. probably wouldn't have been in the league right now if he never linked up with LeBron. I'm just being honest. After that, it was over. J.R. Smith has nothing to be ashamed about. He's a champion. Phenomenal career. He's a top 30. I think he's number 13 on all time on the NBA three-pointers list. Don't quote me on that. He's at least number 13. That's phenomenal. I don't think people think all-time three-point shooter when they think J.R. Smith, but he's on that all-time list. Now, guys in the league are going to keep passing that list over and over again because people shoot so many threes. But the fact that his name is in the ranks for now, I think that's a phenomenal accomplishment. Nothing to be ashamed of. I think there might be one team interested in J.R. Smith. And I don't know the team now, but I'm thinking he might get one next crack with an organization. Maybe Houston would be interested. Maybe around, Daryl Morey of the Rockets is all in right now. Maybe the Pelicans could use him. They could use some scoring. Depending on if JR would want to play in New Orleans. I just look at it. Maybe the Portland Trailblazers could use a little scoring off the bench. Their bench could use a guy or two. There are teams that could use him. He probably is going to want to play on a contending team. I doubt he'd go to Golden State. They probably wouldn't want him anyway. I think this is just one of those situations where JR's career might be over. He's frustrated. The Cavs are frustrated. And some sort of an agreement, a buyout, I expect it to happen in the next couple weeks. For sure. Thank y'all for the time, loves. I don't take it for granted. Good run from J.R. Smith, man. Nothing to be ashamed about. But I'm going to be honest, man. I'm looking at a lot of guys around the league. Y'all mad at LeBron a little bit. Well, I'm not going to say y'all mad at LeBron, but he admitted that he was hurt when LeBron left. D-Wade, same way. A lot of you guys could have took better care of y'all bodies, man. And maybe LeBron never leaves y'all. Look at that Cavs team last year. Isaiah Thomas, Dwayne Wade, J.R. Smith, Tristan Thompson, Kevin Love. A lot of guys, I believe, wish they could have put the better nutrition and educated themselves a little bit more on their bodies. Because a lot of these situations come down to injuries, right? Kyrie Irving, add him to that list. I know he wasn't on the Cavs last year. Think about this, right? If LeBron beats Golden State 2 times, let's go backwards real quick, right? Before I get out of here. If the Cavs beat the Warriors, if Kevin Love never go, and I know Kevin Love broke his arm, right? But I gotta believe a stronger guy could have took that Olynyk. This is 2015, right? Olynyk broke Kevin Love's arm. I gotta believe a stronger guy would have been able to take that and not have his arm broke. Maybe he would have, maybe not. Kyrie in the finals, he's injury prone. I believe LeBron, he took Matthew Dellavedova. He pretty much took a backup point guard and went 6 games with the Warriors. That's what happened. And they lost. I got to believe if Kyrie's healthy, they could beat that Warriors. This is without KD, right? So, let's say LeBron wins 2015 and turns around and wins 2016. Then Kevin Durant is available. Then let's say the Warriors win the last 2 years. I got to believe, right? LeBron might want to stay around if he's 2-2 with the Warriors. Maybe he considers staying in Cleveland. Finding some way to get somebody in town. Paul George, something, right? Because it's closer then. But because he went down 1-3, he's like, I know I can still beat the East no matter who the Eastern Conference has. I got to go. I'm going to keep getting to the finals and losing to Golden State. I want something different. I'm going to LA. So I'm just saying a lot of these guys like Kyrie, Kevin Love, JR, Wade in Miami wasn't taking care of himself. If you guys would have just put the love and dedication that he might have put in, and I'm not saying your game got to be where he is at, obviously. Just the dedication. Maybe you guys' careers would be different right now. Outside of Kyrie, those guys are struggling to find their way. Thank y'all so much for the time, loves. I don't take it for granted. Salute. I'm out.